players on this team agree Jordan Bone is the most improved player from the offseason. I spoke with Bone and he said, a lot of coaches, a lot of players have told me I'm the fastest guard in the country, but I don't know how to use that speed. So I wanted to work on using that speed this summer. His secret weapon, film study. Not just his own film, he watched some of the best NBA point guards. Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, and Russell Westbrook.
When you look at this still shot, what do you see?
I see the box is pretty stacked. I'm going to let it fly if I'm Dobbs.
Coach Barnes, your team is shooting more than 50% going into the half. What are you liking out of the offense?
Well, we're moving balls. Still think we settle too much. We're going to get jump shots. We can get those.
Newsflash, your Tennessee Volunteers, the #1 team in the country, just wrapped up an undefeated January. Their first since 1945, winning 15 straight games. That win streak ties the longest in program history, tying the mark that was set in, get this, 1915 through 1917. Maddy Glab here with this week's Tennessee Take. Vol Nation, go ahead and pat yourself on the back because you made it to game week. Tennessee football kicks off the 2018 season this Saturday at 3:30 Eastern. The team has one more week of prep before they fly to Charlotte on Friday afternoon for the Belk College kickoff game.
Pandemonium reigns.
They held Florida to -13 yards rushing. Al Wilson stripped the ball away 3 times. What was their performance like in that game? I mean, -13 yards rushing.
Al was a madman, you know, that game.
There's many firsts today for head coach Jeremy Pruitt as he steps onto the field representing the Tennessee football team. He's going to call his defense from the sideline for the first time today, as well as help manage an offense. He told you earlier, Bob, that there'd be no butterflies, and that's maybe because he can find comfort and trust in his coaching staff. Coach Pruitt, the team has the momentum in the second quarter. They're scoring, but how do you keep that momentum and slow down Alabama in the second half?
Well, we're not going to slow them down until we get another recruiting cycle, I can tell you that.
How does it feel to be back in Knoxville, visiting as a now NFL quarterback on your bye week? Pitching a big storyline in last night's game, we saw Arkansas struck out a combined 11 batters. Oregon State struck out a combined 16 batters. Oregon State went into this game batting .351, scoring almost 10 runs a game in this College World Series tournament, but Arkansas was able to limit them to just 1 run thanks to Blaine Knight and company. Why was pitching so important in last night's game 1? Where is the perfect place for the ball to go when you're snapping?
The perfect
Where do you like to catch
spot
it at?
is right here on the right hip.
One thing Coach Barnes does not want this season is any drop-off when he goes to the bench. He said last season we had numbers, but we didn't have the depth. When Kyle Alexander got hurt during the tournament and he went out, we didn't have anyone to replace him. So the coaching staff understood they had to fix this problem going into the season. Barnes asked John Fulkerson to be more than the player that they recruited. He asked Eve Pons and Jalen Johnson to be more than just go-to players off the bench. He challenged Bowden to learn how to play the point position, and he challenged all the starters to expand their game. So what'd you learn during that time away from the football field? How are you a better person today because of that?
It taught me a lot about life. You gotta take care of yourself in order to take care of other people. And just being able to come back on this football team, it was an honor.
With a rockin' house and a prepared Tennessee team, the game turned out as a statement win for Rick Barnes and his coaching staff. Instead of the top 5 plays, we're gonna look at the top 10 because the game was just too dang good. Number 10, Kevin Punter Jr. with the inbounds play. Robert Hubbs III comes flying into the paint. Number 9, Punter drives to the hoop, gets knocked down a little bit here, loses a shoe, and says, whatever, I'm just gonna keep playing, it's all good.
What's been throwing Segern off is these off-speed pitches by Lee. She's been way ahead of the ball, which is why her knee breaks, which is why all the weight goes forward. And once you do that, you have no power in your swing. Coach Barnes is known for his tough practices, his tough love, but he's also known for his availability to his players. When he got hired on at Tennessee, he decided to ditch his regular office and set up in Pratt Pavilion, their practice facility. The players say when they come in pre-practice, he's always there, and it sets the standard for the players to be in the gym as much as they can, but more importantly, he wants to be with them every step of the way. He'll say, I'm raising these players to be better athletes, but I really want them to be better people when they graduate from Tennessee. You have been transitioning into a new role this season. At Howard, you were a scorer. Here, you're in charge of getting the ball to other people. 10 assists on the night. How has that transition been? Junior Mimi Jackson has started every game this season because of her defensive efforts. She leads the team going into this game with 12 steals, and Coach Warwick says she has loved Mimi's effort and focus and maturation so far this year. She says Mimi is capable of shutting down anybody's best player and that the team feeds off her energy on the court.
In this week's Competition Corner, these two are going to bob for apples. Whoever gets the most in 60 seconds is the winner. Thompson Bowling Arena.
Stop bullying, pulling.